Yeah, YouTube, we was on the way headed down here to the boat landing put in. And this is what we see here this morning to start with. Some old cane brake or timber rattlers, whichever one you want to call him, crawling. Somebody had already run over that one on the way down here. Anyhow, we'll get down here and try to do us a fishing video. Alright, Cole. I've started off with a Warmouth here now. Pretty Warmouth that, Cole. Got one? Uh-huh. You threw right there where I was throwing at. I see what you're doing now. You're watching me.
Listen, this is a smallmouth too.
Yeah. And what's that white spinner you got on there?
Listen, I took your advice and I got a white spinner.
Oh, so you can try to outfish me with my own lures.
I didn't say I was out fishing you.
I see you got that white one on there with that red dot. That's all right.
I'm looking for a big fish.
See, now if you happen to beat me today, it don't count. A little more gentle with the fish, please. I mean, be a little respectful. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. See, you didn't think I could catch one with the yellow one, did you? See, I can catch him on this yellow spinner, too. See where I caught him at? Right in the mouth.
I didn't think that.
Young Warmouth. You're just trying to see where I catch him at, where you can try to catch him. You too. Somebody asked me what was the difference in the tide between here. Somebody asked me what was the difference in the tide between here and Georgetown. I would imagine 1 or 2 hours. I'm not positive, but it's almost high tide right now, and it's 10:30. Probably about 11 o'clock it'll probably be dead high tide, so you can check the tide, see what it is in Georgetown and what it is down here right now, and you kind of know. Come here, Morgie. But anyhow, I know the tide is an hour later every day. I forgot whether it comes in for 5 hours and goes out for 6, or goes out for 5 hours and comes in for 6. But I think it goes out for 6 hours. So it's an hour later every day with your tide changing. Oh, trying to catch me now, eh?
I've seen him grab it. They grab it pretty fast, don't they?
But that fish don't count, because that's my white Beetle spin you got on there.
Listen, they weren't biting for the longest time, okay? He's still beating me, even though I'm using your white Beetle spin. Yeah, he's on it now.
Well, just hold a little bit of pressure on him. I see your spinner. You sure he's on there?
You seen him grab it, right?
I seen the fish, but I think he hung you on that log and he got off.
We'll find out. Yeah, I think he's a little bit long to get off. Don't do that sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, that fish snickered you.
He was a big one too.
Warmouth, I saw him. I think either Mr. Royals or Mr. Williams had sent these yellow colored Beetle spins, or the grub for the Beetle spins. Can't remember which, but both of them have sent me a lot of these lures. I know some yellow ones and green ones and some stuff, and I keep trying to use some while we're down here fishing. Use some of them, trying different colors and stuff. Trying some of the things what we got to fish with. You see that, Cole? I had a twist in my line right there. I was trying to get it in to get it out, and the fish tried to take it from me. Now, see if I can get this out of my line here. Little small brim. Cole, you better tighten up. You're using my white beetle spin, and I know good and well that the fish will bite that white beetle spin now. You ain't wanting me to switch over and have to put a white one on there. What you mean you don't like the white one? Take that white one off and put your red and white one back on there then. Look at that, Cole. Just make 2 casts, Cole, and look. Hope y'all can see up there, because I ain't exactly sure where I got the camera pointed at you two. I had a question the other day when I'm fishing with the brim buster with the cork. Why I have my lead down so near to my hook, my split shot piece of lead. A lot of time I do that when the tide gets down. I like to fish at least a foot deep most of the time, unless I'm in lily pads or something. I may shallow it up to like a foot or a little shallower than a foot. But I'll put that split shot down next to the hook, and then when that tide's down real low, I can tell wherever that, by looking at the cork, whether that piece of lead sitting on the bottom or not. I like for mine to be floating just an inch or 2 off of the bottom. So that's why I have put my lead so close to my hook. I can tell how deep I need to throw off from the hill when the tide's out to know where I ain't quite all the way, my bait ain't sitting all the way on the bottom. Finally got you a nutting, Cole.
Yep.
Done hung in the shell cracker there, Cole. Good hand size shell cracker. YouTube, I doubt you can see him on the camera. But they Gator up there, that's the old big one. This is the first time I seen him this year. He's about 12 foot long. Now, he's an old one. I see him all the time down here, 6 and 8 foot. But that yonder, that's the old big boy. I talked with a fella last year. He had his gator tags. He tried to hunt him, and he said he's very smart. He said he got close to him one night, but he went under and he couldn't see him to get him. But that's a big boy right yonder. Now, I ain't lying. He's one of them old gators. Been down here a lot of years. There's a little warmouth down. There's a lot of warmouth down this way. Don't worry about that gator. That must be the female there. There was 2 of them a while ago. That big one went under. That was probably about 7 foot probably. Comes up in next to me, I'll punch him right in the nose. Got him in. I got something here. Warmouth. What you mean which one's bigger? You know that my warmouth's gonna be bigger.
Well, watch out for that gator out there.
I ain't worried about that gator. See the size of my warmouth right there?
I'm about the same size.
No, yours is. Now put your warmouth right there. Look at that.
Okay.
Mine swallow yours.
Let's not talk about that.
Man, look at that handful of warmouth. You too worried about that gator up there. Trying to catch me, eh? Mine's just as big as yours is, Cole.
Yep.
I don't know where the brim is today. The other day we towed the brim up. Now today, catching smallmouth and stump knockers. There's a small brim. YouTube had another comment on that the other day. I was asking on the last video that I released a lot of nice brim and smallmouth and shell crackers and all that, and kept the two young bass. And I thought I'd explained on there that the wifey had wanted some bass to cook because we had a lot of panfish in the freezer. But anyhow, that's the reason I kept them bass, two bass, because she had asked for bass to cook, and you got to keep the wifey happy. So I took her some bass home, and yesterday she cooked up the bass with some onion rings and French fries and some shrimp, and we had a good meal. She filleted them bass up. So that's the reason I took the bass home. And the second reason I took them bass home is because it's my boat, and if they're legal fish and I want to put them in my boat and take them home and eat them, I will. So that's the second reason why I kept the bass and brought them home. So anyhow, that answers that question on the one that asked me that and put 2 or 3 question marks behind it. So there's your smart answer back for your smart question. Look at that. Now you can't be throwing in the treetops over there while I'm trying to pull in a fish. Now I just don't.
Don't be showing YouTube this. Hold on a minute now.
See, I got you so upset. You do that every time when I start catching fish. Now I got to go get that out that tree. You ought to have to swim over there and get it out with all them gators out there. Look at that, Cole. And if I catch a nice catfish, then I want to take him home. I'll put him in the boat and take him home and eat him too. The bass fishermen's against the cat fishermen, and the cat fishermen's against the bass fishermen. And I'll fish for anything that's biting. So I guess all of them's against me, Cole. Oh, Lord. All right, cutting up a little bit, YouTube. Cole, what is going on back there?
Listen, you say this every time. It's not
Okay, YouTube. It's 12 o'clock. The tide just turned to start going out. It ain't even running hard yet. So, the day's, what's the date, Cole?
The 5th, I think.
Day's the 5th, so it's at 12 o'clock. It's just changed down here. So, if you look at the Georgetown tide for the day, then that'll let you know what the difference is in between the tide down here and the tide at Georgetown. Yeah, a little stump knocker.
I think that's what you had.
May have been. There goes another brown coal. Ain't a whole lot of brown bite. Might be because the tide's high. It's going out, but it just started going out. Go. Oh, you pulled that stump knocker out of there like you had something. Oh, you got your smallmouth finally, eh?
Yep.
It's about time. Back there playing with them stump knockers.
It's a big brim.
That's a nice brim. That's the only kind of big brim we caught for the day. But we've been fishing this high tide and Water was up when we got down here about halfway, so it just not long ago started going out. The brim might start biting. Tide gets down some. We could fish a little while longer. Another moment. Oh, you give that little fella a hard time.
Listen, this little fella.
Thought that thing was a pound and a half brim, the way you was a reeling and pulling on there.
I'm
and
making sure he
everything.
wasn't getting off.
Hey, you two. I think we could call it a day. I hear a thunderstorm coming up over there. And we could go ahead and try to pack up and get out of this river. Anyhow, we hope you enjoyed. And, thanks for watching. And, thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you the next time, you two.